What's going on, buddy boyos? We are live. Welcome to another episode of Wednesday Night WINcel. In this stream, we kick back, relax, listen to some fucking synthwave, and just chill, my dudes. We are live and alive. Welcome back. Glad to see you guys again. Hope you guys had a happy 4th. Happy 4th of July. Good old fireworks displays and all that shit. Hot dogs and apple pie and rainbows and white picket fences and all that shit, dude. Feels good, man. Feels good to not be a dirty Brit. Oh, man. Got the music going. We're good to go. We got 2 people in the chat. I'm surprised with how many views these streams get. I'm not talking about SNC, but a Wednesday Night WINcel gets a lot more views than I thought it would, truth be told. So it's kind of weird. It's odd to see that this stream gets a little bit of traction. So that's good. Alive and live. What's up, XT? Kind of Wilson. What's up, buddy boy? Oh, hi. How are you? I'm doing good, buddy. I had a pretty good day of bowling today. Did some bowling. Worked out this morning finally for the first time in like 3 days. Worked out, and then I what else? What else did I do today? Took care of some work. I start my new job next week on Monday, so that's gonna be kind of exciting. So I have that coming up. So I'll no longer be a NEET, but it is what it is. You can't always be free and all that shit, right? But truth be told, I'm kind of ready to go back to work anyway. I'm getting kind of bored just bowling and doing whatever the fuck I want. So yeah, I would have supported the American Revolution. What's up, Jack? What's up, buddy boy? Arise pure. Lifting and cold showers are the only thing keeping me sane these days. What's up with the cold shower thing? What does that even do for you at this point? What do cold showers even do? Oof. Getting the ball rolling on my CCNA training. Do or die. Stress as fuck. Or do or die. I know what you meant. Yeah. Yeah, I have I still have to study for my CPA. I haven't done anything for that. But I was kind of I wanted to find a new job first and then start studying for it. So I'll probably start doing that next month or some shit. I'll get on that at some point. I think men devoid of warmth, intimacy, especially need warm showers. Life is cold enough for them. Yeah, that's true. Interesting thing, I was told that the cold temperature done in the right way releases dopamine in a much more beneficial way than jacking off or video. You feel good for a longer time. Huh. Alright. Anyone see the Badlands Chug? Obese black dude, 3 million subscribers on YouTube and over 1 million from competitive eating. Literally life mugging most people. Didn't know that. What the fuck? Well, I had no clue there was a dude like this on in reality. So, also cold water will make your body feel like it's drowning and activate a bunch of other pathways and shit to help revitalize you. Okay. You boys have a good incel pendants day. Huh. I had a good day, honestly. Pretty decent day. The gravity of my 30s is getting to me. Don't waste your 20s, buddy boyos. Yeah, I didn't. I'm so glad I spent my 20s kind of like grinding it out, because I would hate to be in my 30s having to fucking do education shit. Like, I know I still have to get my CPA, but at least I have my college degree, and a CPA is more or less just icing on the cake. Like I still like I'd still like to get a master's degree at some point, but I don't really know what in. But truth be told, though, I can generally make it without having to get a master's degree in anyway. But it's just kind of a goal of mine. What's up, Boyle? What's up, Buddy Lee? 32-year-old old cell reporting in. I'm 31 years old, dude. You think you're old? I think there was even a study that showed people, I mean men, devoid of intimacy take warmer showers. Red pillars would confuse cause and effect, and reason warm showers cause a loneliness lull. Yeah. Having an awful 24 hours, black pill came to collect. Ooh. What's going on, Buddy Lee? What happened? Check it out, Mystery Life, mogging through drinking huge glasses of soda. I at least have a BA too. I have a BS. I don't know what. Is there a reason ever to get a BA? Like, what are BAs even good for? I feel like most I know like most majors have a BA and a BS program, but like, why would you ever get a BA over a BS? Is there a point? I've always wondered that. Like, what's the point of getting a BA? Like, I feel like a BA in accounting would be completely fucking useless. Like, versus a BS in accounting where you actually learn all the mathematics and shit is far more lucrative in my opinion. But I'm just curious. I never understood what the point of a BA is unless you're actually doing like ARC or some shit, right? But I worked hard on my podcasting and media project in my 20s. Just broke his fucking retraining. Okay. What app? What's up, Adam22? Oh god, Adam22. Yeah, he's coping hard with the fact that his girlfriend fucked BBC on Blacked. He's coping so fucking hard. He's like, oh, I watched that scene, bro. It was so hot, bro. Like, bro, you're such a cuck, bro. I don't give a fuck how many women you're smashing on camera. Who gives a fuck? You're still a cuck. Oh man. Thirty-two-year-old old money, 32-year-old old money mental cell. The Sufi of Roman is a good book. Okay. Being in your early 30s is still looking and feeling young is so cringe. I'm at events and having good convos with early 20s girls, and they find out my age and it's visible disgust. They get mad at you for looking young, but you look like you're you look what? They get visible disgust? Wow. Well, I don't know how the fuck that works. That's so weird. I don't know. It's better than looking old as fuck. Adam 22, yeah. Sufi of Rome explains Evola. I wish American Cholo would have beat Adam 22. My college had a technical writing program under the English program. That's why I got a BA. I have an IT minor. Was too dumb for upper level computer science classes or a computer science BS. Okay. Truth be told, I'm not actually that good at math. Truth be told, but accounting math isn't all that hard, so that's probably why I was able to do pretty well in these classes. But yeah, I mean, I really only had to take like one or two decently hard math classes, at least in my opinion. That probably aren't that hard compared to other people's majors, but other than that, I had a pretty, getting a BS wasn't that big of a deal. In fact, there's another guy I know. I used to work with this guy. He had a BA in physics. Like, physics is a pretty hard degree to get a degree in anyway, but like he has a BA in it. I'm like, bro, like you didn't take the math classes? Like, he's like, well, I was only a one class away from getting a BS. But I'm like, well, why didn't you do it? Like, like you had the ability to get a BS in fucking physics. You should have just done it. She just decided to dump me and cut me out of her life all of a sudden for me being an atheist, even though she already knew. I think she just used that as an excuse to break up and not feel bad. Oh well. Yeah. They'll find any excuse to get rid of your ass. Or she found somebody else and she needed an excuse to get rid of you. Yeah, me and this girl have a second date, and she's the one who fucking was pressuring me to get the second date. It's kind of weird. But like I'm like pretty much like, in my opinion, I think I'm at least 1 or 2 points above the chicks in the facial department. She's not like busted, but I don't know. Like if I'm Chad Light, she's got to be at least like a normie girl. So maybe that's why it's working out pretty well. But who knows? So I'm basically stealing someone else's a looks match. 10-year gap, 10-year age gap when you're sub 5 is basically you got socially shamed for being a creep. Yeah. Had to dump a chick I met on SA. Had a big ass. She wanted a boob job from me. What? She thought I was gonna pump and dump her and was deaf projecting. What the fuck? Man. What the hell is going on? Is SA actually a viable way to meet women who actually want to date? Or is it just a huge a money trap for women just to take you for a ride? What it seems like to me, like a woman just taking men for a ride real quick, just to say, okay, well, you know, I'm quote unquote dating this guy just to get rid of the stigma that I'm really just a prostitute, right? That's what it seems like to me. What's up, Mister? What's up, Flame Before? What's up, buddy boy? I just got my motorcycle and motorcycle license. It's a good cope. That's pretty cool, dude. I'm 26, gem maxing, and getting a finance degree in order to geomax. This finance degrees, at least when I was in college, finance degrees were basically for people who couldn't cut it in accounting. It's kind of weird. Like every single guy who I saw who was majoring in finance basically said, "Yeah, I couldn't pass the accounting classes, so I went to finance." And I was like, "Oh, okay, like that was weird." So at least when it comes to my business school, anyway. But who knows? I don't know if it's different for every program, but. Mogmax are my dream. 40-plus-year-old. I'm not saying finance is a bad degree by any means. I'm just saying that's the a stigma that was ingrained into me when I was younger. So, 40-plus year olds are mad friendly to me after my beard started graying. Got compliments at the dispensary by a Becky, but my face still looks young. So there's that. Yeah, I look fairly young for my age. People think I'm still. People still think I'm like, am I like mid-20s, early to mid-20s when I'm like. So I don't get like carded anymore, but I also don't get people still think like, oh, you're still in your 20s, bro. Like, no, I'm not. I'm like 30 fucking one. Like I'm what's going on 32. Where everything is subject to doubt, everything must be consolidated, and an infinite amount of light must stream into the world of dark. What are you writing me, Count of Woodland? What do you write when you? Where are you getting this stuff from? Are you just taking it from a book? Like, why are you sending me this stuff for? Yeah, whatever the reason it is hurts to constantly get betrayed by people, even know that human nature is sick and twisted. Jay, would you say you have a decent yearly salary? He probably does. Yeah, I think he does. 25 late bloomer sell and been career maxing in order to get a remote job so I can gym max, geo max, potentially social circle max. That's not a bad way to do it. Yeah, you might as well do something to do for your fucking life. It's only gonna get harder from here, dude. So 25 is a good age. I wish I was 25. If I could go back and be 25 again, there's so many things I would do over, but obviously you can't go back in time, so it is what it is. Gray beards don't lower SMVs, buddy boyos. SA is just full of overpriced whores. It wouldn't surprise me. I never got on that set before, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. And the more beauty attracts and entices me, the more dreadfully I paint my downfall in my sinking into horror and disgrace. Okay. SA is a big money trap. However, it's literally the only way I'm able to consistently talk to women. Hey, kitty. Dude, Jay, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like you have the height in like spades, dude. You're like 6'6", I believe. You're damn tall. Like you're crazy tall. And it's like, I'm assuming you must lift a little bit, so you must have a decent, like, you're not fat probably. So like, it's got to be your face. Like, I'm not trying to like knock you at all, but man, like this is kind of fucked up, man. Like, I wish I was 6'6" or wish I was a little bit taller, but being 6'1" is not horrible. But I don't know what to say, man. Like, that just seems like, if that's the only way you had to consistently talk to women, that's pretty, like, that's screwy. And you're about the same age I am too, as well. So it's like, fuck. But you're also in California as well, and that's a pretty hard market to be in. So I don't know. California is a shit show, dude. And I don't know why you're still in that state. I would have left fucking years ago. Mystery school, you're exactly right about SA. Well. I want to get a finance degree to better understand the stock market. Lol. No, is there even a point in that? Can't you just study everything I learned about the market? I studied like independently, and I probably do better than most people who have a finance degree. Okay, I'm not. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit there, but yeah, who knows? I was thinking about getting a motorcycle until a guy I went to school with passed away in an accident. Yeah, I always kind of wanted to get a motorcycle because it seems cool to ride one, but it's also like, yeah, but I don't like the idea of like being on a literal fucking I don't like the idea of like literally just having my fucking ass out and just if something happens, I'm done. Like if anything happens on the road, I'm literally fucking dead. I'm dead meat. So I don't want to be like a chalk mark on the fucking concrete or on the blacktop. Like, is it worth it? Hey, Mystery Collective Dismal wants to collaborate with you on a one-on-one on your live stream. How does that sound? I don't know who the fuck he is. You tell me who the fuck is this guy. Who is he? And what does he talk about, and why should I talk to this guy? I'm assuming he has a bigger platform than I do, that's for sure, so who knows? But I don't know who he is. So you tell me who he is, and I might have him on. I'm not saying no, I just know who the fuck he is. My good friend has an MS on finance. Oh, master. Okay, yeah, okay. I want to learn options trading and stuff of that nature. Okay, well. So if you're a 7 on Tinder with no matches, you're about a 7.5 on SA with actual matches, even though 95% of women want arrangements, so it's give or take. Oof. Does he make good money? I don't know. You tell me. You might be able to finesse a situation with a woman without an arrangement. People think I'm 23, but I'm 29, lol. Yeah, I age pretty well. Mid-age like fine wine, bro. Yeah, not usually. People still say I look young, but I blackpill them and say it's because I'm short. Ooh. Yeah, that's another one as well, dude. Just being shorter, people will just assume you're younger sometimes, unless you're like really old, which is kind of fucked up if you think about it. Because like, if you were taller, people would say, "Oh, he's just regular age, or he's usual age, or he'd be like maybe a little bit younger than what he really is." But like, people think you're really young, you're like really like 30, you look like you're like 22, because you're short. That's just fucked up, bro. It's over for book sales. Larry. Well, does anyone use SA and deluding themselves that it's not just glorified whore maxing? I don't know, man. Not me. I never done it. Haven't talked to him since 2019. Wicked busy. He's been with the same company since graduating. Wow, okay. I'm a high verbal IQ cell. Are you sure? You're just writing random shit to me. I don't know what you're writing me. I'd love to be 25 again. Just started using a Colombian dating site. We will see what happens. I'm 26 and I'm over here. It's over. I take care of myself and women stare sometimes, but I don't really care anymore. Dang, bro. What about concerts, BPJ? I don't know. Would you go to a concert? Who fucking cares? Cali prices are insane. Shaking my head. Yeah, I don't know how anyone stays in California, bro. That place is rough, bro. Been self-improving and career massing since 2020 pandemic. It is brutally boring, but the juice is worth the squeeze in that sense. Oh yeah, I mean self-improving and self-improvement isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think gym maxing and career maxing are viable candidates for that. Money maxing is always a viable candidate for any sort of self-improvement. But because there's very little assurances nowadays about your success rate, depending on how you look with women. If that's your goal, then you're going to be really disappointed, depending on how good or bad you look. But or depending on how bad you look, obviously. So it depends. I'm almost finished with the self-improvement and career maxing. Okay, that's good. Hi, Mystery. What's up, chicken dinner? I beat the S&P and NASDAQ my first year last year in both contracts, so I had to drain my small sub 1K portfolio. YouTube is a great tool for me just for stocks. I just use Investopedia a lot. That's a pretty good website. Just trade stocks, bro. They give you like a really good bite-sized information about how to trade stocks and what an option is, and you know how to read a chart and stuff like that. So yeah. When I shave, I always get carded, so I'm aging okay. Besides graying, that's good. We know it's hormaxing, at least as black pillars. That's effed up. I've never heard about height and age relationships. Yeah, I think short people live longer statistically. Yeah, I think they do actually. So, dude, honestly, for a short sell, that might actually be hell on earth, bro. You have to live longer in your current form. Like, you have to live longer at the short sell. Why would you want that? That's hell on earth, bro. Like, what the fuck did you do in a past life to deserve that one? Like, the fuck is that shit, bro? 1 million for a 2-bedroom in California. No thanks. Not much better in the Northeast. Because less stress from being in a relationship, single short men live longer. Yeah, I still have some women interested, but I don't even bother because I know it probably won't go anywhere. Out of Woodland, you're a low IQ cell. You can't get your point across. Lots of word salad. Stop being a dumbass and being pretentious. Cope harder with your IQ shit, boy. God damn, Dralik. Oh, man. Dralik, you. Oh, here we go. Here, give me one sec. Let me You can be a managing moderator. I don't know why I got rid of your moderator, but the fuck with that. There you go, buddy. Welcome back to the club. She'd have a pretty dank pretty dank smoker for me to approach a woman staring. Collective Dismal talks about a new perspective into the black pill. Is it really new, or is it just something you haven't heard before? Because there's 200 episodes of the show at this point. I've spoken to him about you, and he wants to reach out. All I can do is say he's got ideas I've never seen before, and I just welcome. He's a globalist? Okay, well, that's odd. What is there? You need to give me an example of what he talks about. Like, what are his new perspectives I haven't heard before? Because I guarantee you, bro. There's over who knows how many hours of content I've done. I have streamed out 5 hours every Sunday. Times what? I mean, how many weeks? I don't know, man. We've done so many weeks of this fucking show. I almost guarantee you. There's no way. Like we would have had to have covered something about this talked about at some point in my stream. A lot of people come here and they're like, "You dude, have you talked about this yet?" And it's like, "Yeah, bro, we talked about that topic on episode fucking 32 of this show." Like, like we were covering topics back in the day that were already here before you guys even showed up. So yeah, I'm just saying, I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying, man. Like, I'm just curious what he has to talk about. I've seen some of his videos. He gives me cringe. Okay, well, Dralik slaughtered that boy. I don't want to be too mean to count, but I'm on the gray line of high tier normie and Chad Drone Light. I'm a late bloomer still, so my look finally hit the threshold to qualify at a late age 2021. But I was a juvenile Inkwell black cell all my life up until recently. Dang, bro. 90% of women interested in me are at work. They're probably looking for a provider, dude. Yeah. Plus, beyond that, dude, like the mantra of like, it's kind of sad because like, don't shit where you eat is very good advice, right? Because like, if something goes wrong in that relationship, you're just kind of screwed, right? But at the same time, right, like, if that's the only place you can meet women, like that's like your only option, you have to do something. Like, you can't. It's assuming you even want a woman anymore, right? But like at the end of the day, like, for a lot of men, that's their only option is to meet women is their workplace, or maybe a bar or Tinder or some shit. So like, if you aren't meeting women at your workplace, you're just, at least that's the best place to do it in person. I don't know what you're gonna do, right? Jealous. I can show you my IQ reports. Cool. I don't even. I know all the. I've taken the Stanford Binet test before, but I have done almost all pro tests as a cope. Because I'm so blackpilled, I don't care whenever Floyd's look my way. When then I gave to finish my self-improvement prior to even speculating about caring about Floyd's. Dude, honestly, dude, I'm gonna give you some. Honestly, if you have the looks to attract women now, I'd recommend actually doing it while you're 25. Don't wait till you're 30 to start talking to women, bro. Talk to them now. Okay, talking to women, like whether we like it or not. I'm not even gonna say talking to women. Talking to people is a skill. There's certain ways you have to talk to women. There's certain ways you have to talk to men. There's certain ways you have to talk to your parents. There's certain ways you have to talk to whatever. And at the end of the day, you need to learn to pick these skills up by actually doing them. So like, if you have an opportunity to date women and talk to women and be around women and you have the looks level for it, you might as well fucking do it. Because like, you don't want to be 30 years old trying to be like, well, I'm gonna try to alpha my way through it and self-improvement. Like, I feel like the self-improvement thing is I get it. Like, you know, if you're not getting results now, don't bother. But it sounds to me like you have the ability to get results, and I don't really know what you're doing, what your end goal is. Obviously, it's to have a better life, sure. But at the end of the day, I think you should probably be doing some level of like dating or some level of talking to women, or want to call it, you know, about just try doing it. Like, there's no reason not to do it, especially if you have the ability to. Would you provide? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, well, true, you might have covered it, but this point of view surprises me. To be honest, I agree with a lot of what stuff he says. He covers a wide range of topics. It would be the best if you saw his content for yourself. Oh yeah, Larry. Look, Larry. I'll have him on. I'm simply asking you, what topic does he cover? Like, give me an example of like a perspective he has that's unique. And it doesn't even have to be, honestly, no, fuck that. It doesn't even have to be very unique in general. Just give me a topic he talks about that you think would be interesting to discuss, and then we'll have him on. You know, I don't have a problem having the guy on. I'll watch his content up at some point tonight, probably. But yeah. Essentially, because my looks came in late, I have to relearn women now that my looks would allow me to now. Becky was wicked nice to me at a contract job I worked at 2 years ago, but kept it respectful and not losing money over pussy. Yeah, it's not worth it normally after the damn time. I'm just saying, like, for some minutes, it's their only fucking only opportunity, right? Josiah, just play with their hearts and cat. Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm trying to say, man. I watched your streaming with Thomas White. Okay, that's good facts of life. How'd you like? Was it good? Was it bad? What you think of it? Talk with bartenders, old cashiers, etc. You got to get out there, man. Do intramural co-ed sports. Huh. Who the fuck cares about IQ? It's useless unless you use it to make money, and women don't care about your IQ. To tell them the lower the IQ, the better. No, to them, the lower the IQ, the better. Some truth there, actually. I think lower IQ people actually have more sex than people who have higher IQs. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, well, maybe it makes you wonder sometimes, right? We are all coping, buddy boyo. Stick with your high quality sound systems. Use that IQ to Money Max and GeoMax to buy another high end sound system based. True. What's up, Josiah again? Early 90s babies and older are the last folks that made having decent social skills a priority. Even if they fail, people don't even try now. Yeah, I haven't realized that. Yeah, it just seems like I don't know. It just seems fucked. Seems extremely fucked. like I don't even know what to say anymore, right? I don't know what to say about the following generations or the people after the early 90s social skills, man. They like completely don't have them sometimes. Like, you gotta wonder, like, they're stuck in their smartphone. Like, I thought I was stuck on my smartphone, but my god, like, some of these fucks, their whole life revolves around some of these fucks are so fucking like socially inept. You wonder if they fucking like were like raised by feral wolves in the middle of a forest somewhere. You're like, how the fuck did you make it this far? The stream with Thomas White was good, and you were very articulate. That's good. Good shit. Globalism and how the elites are decreasing birth rates. His takes kind of blew me away. How hard to get into detail. I just thinking about it. I just think it would be entertaining. Yeah, we discussed the least decreasing birth rates. Globalism is, I don't know. Globalism doesn't seem very tenable for the actual the human animal wasn't really what do you want to talk about? The human animal wasn't really designed to live in a global society anyway. We were designed to live in tribes and nations, and at best nations, right? But even nations are relatively abstract. We were designed to live in tribes and tribes and families and in really small societies. It's this idea that like, oh, we grew up to infinitely care about to infinitely care about the expansion of the human species on some abstract level is fucking retarded, because we've never cared about it at all. But I'm sorry to pester you about it. I'll talk to the guy. They like low IQ men because they're easier to control. There might be some truth there a little bit, but I think it's more or less to do because they're also low IQ as well, so they can actually relate to those men. I think that theory that Jack Kisson had about the normie men, basically men who are like 100 IQ, maybe 90 IQ, 100 IQ. Those men they're more likely to get women if only because they actually they're normie, like they're just normal men. So yeah, they're easier to control, but beyond that, they're also just simplistic, and they follow the narrative that's been put in front of them the entire way through. So they're less dangerous, effectively, right? Someone with a really high IQ who observes reality and observes the world and knows the truth is a much harder man to control. He's much harder to trick. He's much harder to in general. He's much just more disagreeable in some aspects, because he doesn't really agree with the mainstream narrative that's been pushed by the feminist intelligentsia and all that shit, right? So yeah, it all matters. Hey, kitty, what you doing? I didn't want to hop in my lap, but I can't let you up here yet because you got to fucking sit downstairs. So sorry. We talked about lower birth rates and being intentional, though. Yeah, we have. Have we talked about the French riots? Not really, but I know it's about some kid got shot by the police, some shit. And then what else? What else? Who the fuck? Yeah, it's pretty crazy right now. Yeah, I mean, haven't they been rioting since they did the since Macron did the whole fucking getting rid of the pension system or some shit, right? There are no elites trying to lower the birth rate. We are just the end stage of civilization. All of them collapse, and then they reach peak prosperity, and having kids become a luxury. Might be a worth a take. Yeah, that'd be actually a good take there, actually. Yes, he talks about how it's a good thing. It could be a good thing in the short run. Like, to some extent, when you think about it, if you actually be mean, I hate to be mean to my own audience, or maybe not my audience per se, but be mean to like incels or whoever the fuck. At the end of the day, like, if you think about it, it might not be. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but like, technically speaking, if you're subpar, you weren't supposed to breed, right? Like, if your subpar genes don't make it to the next level, you just weren't that guy. Like, it's somewhat of a fucked up thing to say, but it's like, if you happen not to make it, I'm not saying like every person who doesn't make it was like some subpar gene motherfucker, right? But like, at the end of the day, it's like, if your genes don't make it and you weren't picked, I don't know what to say, man. Like, it just seems like, I'm not saying like it's natural and it's not fair, but it's like one of the things where it's like, dang, bro, like, like if your genes don't make it, what do you say? Like, you lost the game. You lost the game of life. Like, are subhumans supposed to breed, or are they meant to be like alone and meant to be? The problem is that once you have a certain level of subhumanity at the bottom rung of your society, it'll eventually fester and destroy your society from the inside out, right? So like, what do you do? You can't just let these people, or really let the men in particular be these fucking like just be eunuchs and die alone. Your system will just collapse in on itself, right? So I had to build my social skills from the ground up. I had to go through so many awkward moments of social rejections. You give these clown elites too much credit, like noobs out there. Oh man, elites are controlling us, Larry Kuckman. He agrees with the globalist agenda. He's not trolling well. Okay, well, he's weird. Elites aren't decreasing birth rates. Women are waiting to have kids. If they don't get Chad, they won't have kids. Yeah, but if you actually look at, there's actually I posted the meme before, but there's a chart that basically shows, it's from some institution that talks about how if you want to lower birth rates, you give women education. It's a well-known fact that more educated women have less kids. If you want to lower birth rates, you destroy the family. If you want to lower birth rates, you increase you do a bunch of these factors, and it almost always leads to decreased birth rates. Now, these things can happen naturally, but let's not pretend here and act as if, like, for the last 30, 40, 50 years, there hasn't been a push to get more women in education, right? Which they have to know by now will lower the birth rate, right? Lower birth rates would negatively affect the elites, as there will be less people to operate the important social and economic machinery. They act on instinct and don't overthink anything like women think. Do a cat reveal. I could do a cat reveal. Yeah, I could. What's your thoughts on Justin Waller? I'm not sure. Should I have thoughts on this guy? I might open the chat up pretty soon. Let me do the invite link now. I'll do the invite link now, and I'll let people on as I read the comments. We'll do this for like a good maybe hour or so, maybe a half hour. There you go. The message. There's the pinned message. True, they follow the narrative. We're on the disagreeable side according to the narrative. High IQ. Justin Waller is a grifter. Okay, is he? I don't know. Also, Chads who are normal IQ don't need to read or increase their intellect to get average women. Average and sub 5 looking men do. Well, average and sub 5 looking men don't have to do shit because they're not going to get women anyway, right? Like, I don't even know why you'd bother. That's the sad part about it. If you're average or sub 5, you might as well, especially if you're sub 5, really, you might as well just do what you want. But, like, we all know what the outcome's going to be 9 times out of 10. Drawlex 2.0, a lot of the whole mall elites control everything, but really boils down to human nature and the fact that there are winners and losers in life. Women are the gatekeepers to eugenics. Yeah, they kind of are. The elites are the ultimate winners in life. And even worse, the black community. Intelligence is a marker for women to curve you. So Tyrone don't even need to be average intelligence. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fine balance, but the modern life is only possible with all these people around supporting each other. It's only going to get harder for certain goods, services, and time. Lower birth rates increase inflation. Yeah, that's an easy way to do it. Yeah, maybe I'll show that graph later on, or maybe next week. Speaking of which, next week we'll have we will be having a Wednesday. That Wednesday will finally be back in my house again, so we'll be back in my condo for that, since I'll actually be home for that. So we can start doing shit from there. Yeah, fuck out of here. I'm not doing that shit. I was reading an email. Sorry. The monopolization thing is the issue. Get rid of monopolies and bring back free market capitalism. You're never gonna have free market capitalism ever again, dude. No fucking way. I mean, the corporations and the government are all in bed together to some extent. You know, to some extent, the government benefits off of having these corporations around because it allows them to wield their countries, have more influence and power across the world, so they're able to control other countries via proxy. So, like, instead of using direct rule with these countries, you use indirect rule via these corporations who control the food, they control the media of these countries, they control the the housing and all that crap, right? You know, it's all these things, right? So the whole bunch of things that you can do via indirect soft power that will probably net you more than using raw hard power. You have to use your a military or your State Department or the CIA to fucking get shit done, right? So, hey yo, what's up, Base Fillington? What's up, buddy boyo? Do you think neck tattoos are attractive on women? Fuck no, bro. Sleeves are not enough anymore. Soon they will start tattooing their whole face. I can't do it. Can a normal IQ Chad drone increasing his IQ or reading while studying the black pill become unstoppable to an extent? What? Wait, what is this question? Well, let me read it again. Can a normal IQ Chad drone increasing his IQ or reading while studying? You can't increase your IQ, by the way. That's impossible. you can get more knowledge, but you can't increase your IQ, if that makes any sense. But I know you're new here, so we've covered IQ a lot in the stream, but yeah, there is no increasing your IQ per se. Once you reach a certain age, you're kind of done. But you can increase your knowledge though, which is, you know, it makes you seem sound just as smart or sound decently well. So is a knowledge is always good to have, right? So I'm not saying don't read and shit, but I'm just saying, you know, either way. While studying the black pill can become unstoppable to an extent. Not unstoppable, but you're gonna know a lot more than most people will, that's for sure. So, oh yeah, the link's in the chat if anyone wants to join. Otherwise, I'll just keep doing the monologue shit and talk my ass off. 3 ISP tops in one state. F the system, dude. BPJ and Chip Skylark were basically stuck on last stream discussion. Good chemistry. Yeah, they are. Yeah, BPJ and Chip Skylark, they're good shit. Drawlix is always fun to have on. Who else is really good in my stream? I have a lot of good people who come on stream now. Ryder's pretty good. Larry's all right. Larry's pretty good. Who else comes on? Jack Tisson's always fun to have on. A-Boy came back for the first time in a while, so I've seen him in a minute. So yeah. Tattoos are for stupid people. Oh man, well you gotta have them if you're gonna be a black man, that's for sure. Are you gonna show us a picture of your kitten, Mystery? I don't have a kitten. I have that's my mom's cat actually. I'm at her house right now, so. But next week I'll be at my own house so I won't have a cat bothering me the whole time. But that means that this stream will start later on in the evening as well, so you have to watch out for that. Comcast or Verizon, take your pick. You got lots of choice, buddy boyos. Out of those two, I always pick fucking Verizon, truth be told. I hate Comcast so much. Comcast is fucking so shitty, bro. Can't do it. I cannot fuck with Comcast, bro. Can't do it. I'd rather end myself than do Comcast again. Fios is so much better than Comcast, is whatever they call it. Xfinity shit. Fuck that crap. Mystery of the Cat Gentleman. I do like cats more than I like dogs, but I can do both. I like animals in general. So I had cats, ferrets, birds, fish. I have had a lot of pets and shit. So yeah, throughout my life, my favorite animal I probably had with my ferrets. They were really cool. Guinea pigs as well. I had a lot of pets growing up. I had this ferret that would literally climb up my fucking leg and then sit on my shoulder. This shit was crazy, bro. I was like, what the fuck? My sister's going to become a doctor and she has a tattoo. I def wouldn't get a checkup for her even for free. Or from her even for free. Dang, bro. She that bad? Of a doctor? No, BPJ's here. All right, we'll let him on. Let me give me 1 sec. Let me read some more comments. Any more comments here? Okay, we're good. Oh, what's up, buddy boy? What's up, dude?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
No, nothing much, man. There was some. I mentioned Justin Waller in the chat. I've been watching a couple videos of his, and I think he kind of has a handle on some shit. But I just sent you a link.
Oh, okay. I can't show it on stream right now, but I can.
Oh, you can't?
Oh, yeah, I'm at my mom's house. I don't have my
gotcha.
usual setup where I can actually show shit. So, because I don't want to show my fucking on my laptop right now. So it's a lot of personal shit on here.
Oh no, it's all good. Maybe.
But yeah, if you want to show it on, bring it up to or send me the links in the in an email.
Yeah, I'll send you both the link. They're here. At least, and they're like very short too.
I mean, okay, you can post them. Send me an email of them, and I'll play them on SNC this weekend.
Okay, yeah,
good content.
I'll just remember, but these are both of them.
It's 6 figures, a new 50K. It's getting there. It's honestly like early 6 figures or early 6 figures, but like, you know, $100,000 really ain't shit anymore. It really isn't shit in most states. Not in most states, but in the states where people live at, it really isn't a lot of shit anymore. Like 100, you got to be making at least 100, in my opinion, like 150, like plus to be doing decent in America nowadays. Like, I don't know, but 100K doesn't seem like shit anymore. Well, that's my opinion, but
yeah, I would agree. It's getting.
It's kind of like how like 6 foot is like the bare minimum for women now, where it's like
Yeah.
106 figures is like that's the bare minimum as well. Okay, yeah, you have to be making the bare minimum 6 figures to make it in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, everything is. I mean, like, and that's why, like, it's tough as a man to, because the thing about it is, and I was saying this to a friend of mine, even when you elevate, so let's say you go from okay making 50K or working, however, to now you're making 80 or 90 or something like that. Like you made a significant jump in that,
yeah,
right? So let's say if you were making 50 when you were 25, 26, and now you're making 90 or so at 32, 30, 33, but now you need to be making damn near twice as much of that to be competitive, not even just like as somebody who's trying to live, but also obviously in the sexual marketplace. Because as time progresses, it's kind of like a treadmill, right? It's like okay, you finally you're running on 5 miles per hour, and you finally okay, now you're up to about 6. Now you can run about 8 miles per hour, but in order to compete, you need to be running at least 13, 14 miles per hour. So it's everything is increasing, inflation, the sexual marketplace, and it's too rapidly. That's why it's going from the 80-20 to like damn near the 95-5, because less and less men are able to. And I'm not just talking about women. I'm saying like just economically, just we're reaching. And I think Coach Greg Adams talks about how we're reaching a point where there's just going to be two classes: the haves, obviously, and the have-nots.
I mean, that's always been the case throughout most human societies, but it's increasingly becoming far more apparent now. Where like people are more aware that it's actually that way in reality, versus like back in the past, you could kind of cope with like different things because like you didn't have the information in front of you. Now everybody has a smartphone or a laptop or something to access that
Mhm.
information, to know what you don't have, right? And that makes you feel even worse. Versus back in the day where it's like, okay, well, I'm in my own little community, so if
Yeah,
if
yeah,
if, if, if some guy in New York City has like a mansion, who gives a fuck? I don't know him, so it
yeah,
doesn't matter to me, right?
yeah. I mean, and it's and because I was talking to a girl like earlier, super early this morning. I met her on essay, but we're not meeting on some arrangement type shit. Like I think she actually liked me enough to just see me regularly, but she was at like a mansion party of like the game. You know what I'm saying? And not like another party. Like no, I'm fucking serious. No, like
Oh my god, bro.
so it's like you're and and she's about to go to Asia for her birthday, and I'm like, hey, is this your first time going there? And she's like, oh no, I go there all the time. So it's like
Nah, bro. Yeah, I would nah, dude. Oh shit.
so these women just I'm not saying that she's the average, right? But it's just the divide. And I think that who talked about this? I think it was First who might have talked about this, but the divide between the average man and the average woman. So there's a divide, there's a class divide, there's a male divide, but there's just when it comes to the average man, average woman, there's a divide in the types of lifestyle that they have. So that when so even if your average man did have a chance with your average woman, their experiences are just so different. How can you compete with somebody who, and I don't know if how much you prioritize travel, but your average woman travels significantly more than your average man.
Yeah, they because they have the ability to get flown out. They probably are getting flown out, probably more likely than not. So they have that ability, and beyond that, they just get like beyond the fact that they're getting more career opportunities than they ever have, which are typically unearned. They get them because of diversity hires or some other type
Mhm.
of shit. So they're getting their own money now. So if they are able to fly themselves out, they do that on their own, or they get flown out by some other dude who's some multimillionaire, some dude making high 6 figures who has the money to afford to fly her out. So like yeah, they're either flying for free or they're paying for it themselves. But either way, if you can't give them that experience, then once again you're always behind the curve, right? So you're constantly playing a game of catch up, and it's like that thing you described earlier, where you're on this treadmill, right? Like yeah, sure, you're making improvements, but so is everybody else in your life, right? So like just
Sometimes.
because you show up at age 30 and you're like, oh, I'm making 6 figures, well. The guy next to you who was making 6 figures 3 years ago, I'm making $150,000 a year.
Right.
And it's like,
And
okay,
he
well, what
can
the
take
fuck?
up, yeah, and that guy, so the thing about it is that you have, because let's be honest, most men are not making 6 figures in general, but let's just say we're talking about just the young men, like we're talking about men between the ages of like 25 and 35, like relatively young, right? Who are making like good mid 6 figures. figures, right? These are guys making 300, 400K, however much we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
If we're talking about those guys, and let's just say they're like a 7+ on the look scale, then these men are able to take a significant amount of women off the market for you. I'm saying like off the market. Like they can see a woman every Tuesday, and that woman will be satisfied enough not to date actual other men because she's dating the rich guy who's a 7 point. And this woman could be a normie. This woman could be a whatever, a 5 or a 6, and she could just date that guy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get paid off, a little bit or whatever. Get a bill taken care of, and be satisfied. Right? You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about So that's happening quite often as well.
What's going on, Josiah?
I'm good. Yeah, I was just relating to Blackpool J with the treadmill metaphor. Like, even though you're improving, let's say you pass the threshold, there's still more levels to achieve. Like, you're just barely making it.
Yeah. Well, it's and also too, it's like your looks. It's like if you're able to, it's like whatever the thing is. So it's like, okay, if it's your height, so if you're a guy who's shorter, and okay, you get into the gym, whatever the thing, whatever that you could improve. But once you improved, once you're there, once you're good enough to get a woman's number, again, the invisible tournament is undefeated. So now you're just allowing yourself to get curved, but just a little bit later than you were before.
Oh yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like damn, like I no longer get curved at level 1. Okay, well, you're gonna get curved at level 2.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that men shouldn't self-improve. I would never necessarily kind of say that. I just think that there's you got men who, for example, I don't know if you guys ever watched Donovan Sharp and how he talked about TRT.
Mm-hmm.
I never have, but what's going on with that guy? I haven't talked with him in years.
No. This I'm saying back in the day, like Donovan Sharp would talk about using TRT, right? So you have like men who, even with like the Andrew Tates, it's like, okay, to what degree are you willing to achieve these goals? So whether it's like the fitness goal, are you willing to get on the TRT? Are you willing to get on the steroids or get on some gear in order to achieve that damn near impossible standard? Like to look the way that a lot of women will want you to look with that V taper with the big bulging pecs, and like, let's just say, for example, if you're not good looking enough to just be lean and be attractive, if you have to go, the more masculine route, that's not necessarily realistic for most men doing it.
Yeah, most people are not putting on like 10 pounds of muscle in 3-4 months. Like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen for most men. So you're just kind of fucked. You're fucked in that regard,
right? Because and I think that Robert Pattinson I think that he was kind of fighting against this when he was doing the Batman. It's like the fitness, because women talk all the time about how there's like this unrealistic beauty standard. But I would argue that the unrealistic beauty standards are far more for men in regards to like, you know what I mean? Like there was a time where
yeah, absolutely. This has been a well-known meme for a long time now. It's like, like it's kind of like that one meme where people will show like this is Barbie, and then this is fucking men have to be fucking what's that guy's name?
Ken.
He-Man from fucking that fucking goddamn TV show, and it's like, look, man, there's no fucking way. Like, every man's gonna be these fucking muscled up fucking jacked motherfucker hero motherfuckers, right? It's not gonna happen. But all women have to do generally is not get fat, and they're generally okay. But like,
but that's not even. But now
that's not even required anymore. Yeah.
No, it's not, because you have women, and I'm gonna tell you this: you have women who have literal guts, but because they have an ass, maybe because they have titties, maybe because they're a little cute in the face, they're getting just attention as the actual fitness models. And the reason being is because these are women. That's kind of like Juggernaut Law in a sense, where these men are able to look at these women and find them as more gettable, find them as more relatable, perhaps, as opposed to the woman with like 5% body fat. No, but But if you look at like heartthrobs back in the 90s, the 80s, even the 70s, like look at James Dean. Obviously, you know, James Dean was a, you know, a very attractive in the face and all that, and had the hair and the look and all that. But this notion of like these ultra ripped guys was not, even back in the 70s with Arnold Schwarzenegger doing the strongman, this was more or less an anomaly. Like this wasn't, you know. But now it seems as though everybody as a man, you need to, like, the requirement to be a high value man, quote unquote, physically, is to be jacked, not to be lean, not to be, you know what I'm saying, in good shape, not to be, you know what I'm saying, healthy.
You got to be shredded.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I actually think that, I'm not saying it's the opposite. If you're like a normie, then yeah, but like I think that we maybe over exaggerate how much muscle actually plays into the equation a little bit here. But if we're talking about black women, maybe for sure. But like other races of women,
in the black community,
like,
you gotta
it
be
definitely
like,
seems like, well, maybe it might even be a black man thing for death for sure as well, where like black men have to be these like hyper masculine beasts
Clark Kent.
But I'm trying to say that, like, you know, like if
Yeah.
you get two Chads and like one of them is more jacked than the other Chad is, I'm not sure how much better. Like, I feel like in general, if you're just decent, attractive enough, you can generally just be relatively toned and still do well. You just can't have a gut or be really fat, right? So you can be like relatively lean and, or not skinny boy type look, but just be relatively aesthetic enough looking to kind of pull off your look, right?
I think it depends on what you have. So if we're saying, so white men, for example, I don't think that white men have to necessarily be as jacked on average as a black dude. Now, if you're a black dude who is just naturally skinny, you can kind of whiz Khalifa Max and just be blasted with tattoos. Because I think if you're a skinny dude, but if you're blasted with tattoos, I think you would be more or less good to go. But as a black man, you can't be black, skinny, with no tattoos and no beard, like, or no.
It's like negative points.
Oh, bro,
Right.
you be in negative territory. You think there's no a negative on the S&V scale, but there really is, bro.
Yeah.
You can go lower than 0, bro.
I think somebody called that the nigga point system.
Yeah, we've been talking about that one for a while. That was definitely base Pluto, I believe. But
yeah.
You know, yeah, no, I think in Justin Waller, and like I said, maybe we can, you know, once Sunday you can kind of talk about it. But he's a guy, if you click on his videos, he's a relative, he's a Chad, like he's definitely a Chad type of guy. But I just find it funny how Chads can give these men dating advice, and I'm like, you don't think that maybe you being kind of spoiled in the genetics department, it kind of disqualifies you from giving men advice in this? Like, sure, give the business advice, give the fitness advice, give the female nature advice, but to try to relate your experiences, because if you click on a video, he talks about in one of the videos, he talks about how, you know, what he does when he approaches a woman, and, you know, and I'm like, but you're you. Like, how would, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of I don't understand how men and how these people just have this lack of self-awareness as to, yeah, you know what, I am different in this, and that most men are not able to achieve even remotely the same results with this advice that I'm trying to give them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Josiah, I was gonna ask you. So like, what are your general stats? What do you live at? Stuff like that. What if you can tell us as much or as little as you want to tell us? But who are you? Where are you from? I know you're black, right? So that's what you.
Yeah. So I think part of you heard some of my story, like a late bloomer. So essentially, I got a last growth spurt. Basically been black cell my entire life, past high school, in my 20s. Then the pandemic came. Around then, I got a growth spurt. I used minoxidil. I was looking like a juvenile black kid. The minoxidil really helped me with my looks, Max.
How tall are you?
Like, so before my last growth spurt, I was like 6 foot. So this was like in 2018, 2019. Then pandemic came. I got a last growth spurt, sleeping in all year. Like 6'2", maybe 6'2.5", around there.
6'2". I will go with 6'2". Okay. I don't believe in doing half. Like, what the fuck, bro? You want to?
I know. I don't want to say 6'3", but like,
yeah, we'll still go with 6'2". Fuck it, it's good enough, or maybe 6'3" is good enough. That's not a bad height at all. So you said you're Chad Drone or maybe a high tier normie.
I'm on the gray line between high tier normie and Chadron light.
So like a 7, maybe a 7.5 or a 6. This high tier normie with 6, so or
7.5 with like some good clothes.
Okay. And then you said you're a late bloomer, so I guess you don't have a lot of experience with women, or what's going on with that?
So basically, I was here one time, and I think we spoke about this. So I basically grew up like as a corn-fed Christian. A lot of religion got me and kind of messed up my mind to view women in a way. My father grew up. My mother was a single mother before my father met her, so I kind of got some of that single mother programming. Still unlearning it, still going through it. Making moves now though, career maxing and all that.
And where do you live at? What's your general area of the U.S.? What, south, north?
Canada, actually. Canada.
Oh, you live in Canada?
Yeah. I'm in between Montreal. I used to live over, and we spoke about Durham region, but I moved, and now I'm in between Montreal, Ottawa.
Okay. Yeah. So you've been on here before then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last year.
Last year. Okay. All right. Well, nice to see you again.
Yeah, man. What's up, I really Chip? Appreciate it.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, dude?
Yeah, I was gonna talk about the whole unrealistic standards for men. So I don't know if you're familiar with a channel called More Place, More Dates.
Yeah, I know the name.
Very popular channel. So he had a video where he reviewed a Reddit thread, and it was featuring Chris Hemsworth, Thor, right?
Yeah.
And so it was a woman saying all men have to do is pick heavy stuff up and put it back down and look like this, but we women, we have it hard and all that. And she was getting blasted in the comments because he's on steroids, and he even said it himself that that kind of body is not obtainable. It's not sustainable year round. So they don't even know how hard it is to obtain a body like that on top of the steroids.
Oh my God, bro. I had no clue. Shit.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, if you look at what Chris Hemsworth looked in the last Thor movie, because he was jacked. He was jacked when he did the first Thor, and mind you, he was like maybe in his mid-20s or late 20s when the first Thor came out, and he's like probably in his mid-30s now, and he's looked much bigger. He looked, that's like the biggest I've ever seen him look in that last movie. And he's on steroids. I mean, I'm not judging him or anything, but it's so funny how women and even men say this goofy shit of like, you can look just like this guy, when mind you, even if you took Chris Hemsworth and you took the skinny version of Chris Hemsworth, he's still going to get the same amount of women as a jacked version. It's like women. It's like we equate this whole notion of getting bigger to you looking like. No, you're not going to look like this. It's not. It's the
right.
So people say, and I think that women are damn near unaware of what makes them attractive to most men. Like they don't understand the shit about like the hunter eyes, like they don't get though. They don't understand that.
And the same thing with the fashion thing too. They look at these models, they look at these fashion influencers and think if I dress like them, I can look attractive like them. But a lot of them are attractive in general.
Right.
Yeah, it's like wear better clothes.
Yeah, they don't realize that the dude who's attractive can show up literally wearing a white T-shirt, some jeans, and dirty ass shoes, and still pull ass. And you're over here dressed up in a 3-piece suit, trying to impress. Like, bro, fuck out of here. Shoes be so fucking dirty you can't even tell what fucking brand they are anymore. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this nigga still pulling? And yeah, he's still pulling, bro.
Well, no because he has mystery.
If only it were true confidence, right? Of course he has confidence because he has the ability to pull women wearing a fucking dirty ass T-shirt. Yeah, I'd be confident too if I could do that shit. Oh man, Canada is low key worse than the U.S. in terms of dating and being a man with the whole LGBTQ agenda.
Oh, brutal! It's brutal over here, man. He's wilding out.
I don't know how people stay in that state, but my God, it is basically just a state of the United States of America. But I don't know how people stay in Canada, bro. Shit seems like fucking hell on earth, bro. Let's see.
Somebody said
I had 2 parents, but a quarrelsome mom, like Sergeant Willie Pete. Yeah, my mom was okay generally. Could have been worse.
Somebody said Toronto for dating is like LA light.
It wouldn't surprise me actually. Toronto's like, isn't that a fairly very liberal and it's impossible to live there, fucking insanely expensive type city, right?
Not only will you walk downtown and see like a bunch of gay people wearing like dongs and shit, but yeah, inflation's crazy. The agenda is on full throttle.
I heard in Toronto, 1 in 3 women has Drake in her phone number. Is that true?
Yeah, and once she's invited to the Drake mansion, you can't even date her, bro. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Drake's house is a wrap. Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Okay, so but imagine in California, imagine like a bunch of Drakes.
Yeah, dude, like that's what I'm trying to say, bro. You're in the hell market, bro. Because like,
I know, bro.
At least on the East Coast, right? Like, there's a few people on the East Coast you got to worry about, right? But it feels like you got Hollywood, you got fucking everything over there on the West Coast that's like high profile as shit, bro. And it's like your chick could be dating some fucking NFL, NBA fucking star, some dude from some crappy movie that came out last year. Like, what the fuck?
No, it'll be weird and it'll be strange because you'll be talking to a girl and you would just kind of just think that she's regular. Like there was this girl who I used to went to her house a couple of times and she was just a relatively regular, I mean, you know, decent looking, but regular looking white woman. And then back in COVID, she basically told me a story that Jamie Foxx had hit on her when she was giving him a COVID test. And, you know, it's just, it's you know what I'm saying? It's just like, God damn, you know? So, so it's, but yeah.
Just goes to show you that old meme about like how the chick who works at the bartender who works at a diner has just as much SMV or has the ability to pull any dude she wants as long as she looks pretty enough. Whereas some fucking but the same thing's not true for men, dude. It's not. Well, it kind of is. Where like the attractive man generally could still pull working at fucking Target or some shit that got from Target, right? That's a very good example.
But here's the thing. The funny thing for me when you know, because now that we know all this stuff about women and kind of how they have it, it's like if you think about it, even for a woman who's like a 5 or a 6, she can live a relatively good life if she just was just a better person who just made slightly better decisions. Because like a woman who's a 6, like, right? So most women who are like a 6 is, first of all, if you're a 5, you can easily get yourself to a 6 or 7 just by working out consistently, I guess a little makeup and maybe you know what I'm saying. It's not like they can like most women can be considered a 6 or a 7 like nowadays just because of how low our standards are.
Misogynist asshole, dude. You expect women to do work, bro? You're crazy, bro. Go ahead. Sorry.
The standards for the men are so low. Even if a woman personality maxes, it'll make a huge difference.
Oh, well, if a woman personality maxes, then she can go from a fucking 6 to a fucking 8, damn near. It's just like men, because the thing about it is men are like, we love to talk about how women they care more about personality, we care more about looks. No, that's the projection, is to switcheroo. We actually care more about a woman's personality than they will ever care about ours for the most part.
And that's because it makes some sense for a man to care about a one personality, right? Because like for us, like if a chick she's fucking insane or she has malicious intent, you know, that's a danger for a lot of men nowadays to have like some crazy ass woman who can take half your shit, right? For it's like for a woman, like okay, the dude could be a drug dealer or could have killed 6 people or some shit, and it's like, well, it don't really matter because you know, like it doesn't matter as much. That's for sure. You know, like that's for sure.
Yeah, no, it's just, but I was just saying that, like, ultimately, right? But ultimately, a woman who's a 6 or a 7, okay, if you're 18, 19 years old, okay, you can be okay, sure, fine. If you want to have your hoe phase, be a hoe at 18, be a hoe at 19, because a woman can accumulate a lot of sexual experience in just a month. Matter of fact, your average woman is able to accumulate more sexual experience in a month than you as a man can in like 3 or 4 years.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, not even close.
Not even close. If she wants a threesome, if she wants, Big Dick Billy, if she wants a star athlete, if she wants the other star athlete, if she wants like whatever experience that she can get it all in a month, maybe two, let alone a year. So sure, let's just give her whole phase at 18, 19, and 20. By 21, even if you're a 6 or a 7, you can get yourself a dude who could damn near almost fund your life.
Right.
At 21, you could. Even if she's a 6 or a 7, she can easily. Now he's probably not going to be a fucking Chad, but any of these fucking cold max guys, in their late 20s, early 30s, would be happy with having a 21 or 22-year-old just stay home, look pretty, raise a kid, and this motherfucker would never cheat on her ever.
All she has to say is, "I have 3 kills." That's it. We all know it's more, but like,
I mean, but think about it. Who are they fucking when they're hoeing around? They're not fucking regular guys. They can't go back. A lot of them can't go back. It's like you having gourmet meals. It's like you having gourmet meals, and all of a sudden you gotta eat like
sardines in a can.
Yeah.
Sardines. No, you're right. No, yeah, and I think that's the power of Chad, because if women were able to, if they were able to go back, then they would be able to live. Most women will be able to live a decent life, and men, because I honestly believe that even most men would accept that deal. Most men will accept the deal of, okay, if you're a non-select man, if you're a normie guy or below, let's just say you're a normie guy, and if I said, hey, normie guy, you're not going to have the Chad experience in your early 20s, but if you work your ass off for 10 years, make around, I don't know, like make good money, whatever that is, make good money, I can guarantee you a 23-year-old who looks good, who looks pretty good. She's going to be ran through, but she's all yours. Most men nowadays will take that deal.
Right.
Or Mr. School, what do you think?
No, they will. Absolutely, they will. I mean, men are already taking worse deals now. Like they'll take a better deal any day of the week. Like they're taking worse deals now. I think most men are gonna take, because we all know the market is not gonna fix itself. So yeah. I think a lot of men are gonna be in their 50s and 60s, and they're gonna take the Beta Bucks retirement plan deal.
Insurance plan.
They're gonna get some old 40-year-old, old 50-year-old roasty who has 3 kids, and they're gonna she has a kid still in school, right? So 2 kids already graduated college and some shit. Gonna be taking care of that last kid, right? And he'll be taking care of her and her last kid. And at the end of the day, he'll be her retirement plan. And he'll get a crumb of pussy every 6 months if he's lucky, and that'll be his life. And I think a lot of men will be happy to take that fucking deal. So.
They have no choice.
It seems like at some point there's no deal that a desperate enough man isn't willing to take. It's like, okay, because even now, if you think about it, if you think about what whole culture or hookup culture is, it's just kind of cuckery. And I've always thought that as a young man in my early 20s. I never liked the notion of fucking a woman. I just didn't. I kind of still don't. But I don't really like the notion of fucking a woman and knowing and being okay with her going off and fucking other men when you're not. I never really liked that. I always thought that was kind of weird. And maybe that was just a blue pill side of me at that point.
It was probably all subconscious too.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think if a lot more men are being honest about it, they probably feel the same as well. I think that this push to get all these men to feel like, oh yeah, man, you could just be a cuck, bro. Just be a cuck and all that shit, and accept the fact that their wife has been ran through by a whole damn a football team, and then the opposing team as well is fucking retarded, right? I think it's a complete social engineering to get men to accept women who the men that are causing this would not have accepted themselves. So at the end of the day, I think a lot of men are just coping when it comes down to the fact that they know damn well if they could get a woman who looked like the woman that they have now but was pure, they would take her in a heartbeat. So But the reality that most men are the reality that there are no women really like that. So every man has effectively been relegated to the level of a cuck somewhat, where like you're either forced to be a cuck or die alone, right? So like that one thing.
And it's like you get accustomed and you get accustomed to it. I think that after a certain point in time, as a man, if you are kind of dabbling in the sexual marketplace, you begin to adjust to it. So now,
I mean, the reality that you don't have a choice. Like, what do you? Once again, if you want to deal with women, these are the rules of the game. Like, I did this idea that men control the market. No, we don't. At least not in today's world. No, not today's world. Like the reality is that you are at the whims of the system, and the system relegates that women get to have a hoe phase, they get to fuck around in their 20s, and then if you're not not that guy, you get the fucking leftovers, right? That's what it comes down to.
The system works as intended.
Yeah, that is the game we're playing, and nobody wants to accept that. But like, it's true.
Dio just Jeans Maxer, he said something that was really good in the chat. He said
Diogenes Maxer, what he said, it's called nature.
Yeah, no. He said whole phases is their birthright. I forgot. I can't. Whole phase is birthright, and I would say he's absolutely correct on that. It's become part. It's become and it's something that their mothers push. Is something that society pushes on them anyway. So you have some women who might not really want to engage in it, but kind of feel like they have to in order to.
Yeah, they get. I mean, the whole society our sexual morals have just been disintegrated or just died when the sexual revolution happened, right? Like there were like certain constraints on what men and women could do, and now those constraints are gone, and people are just a huge free for all. Yeah, I said it before, but basically, like it was a huge fucking orgy, and you weren't fucking invited. So,
right. so mystery. So are you basically are you still holding out? Because I know you want to have kids, but are you still more so holding out for a marriage, or are you leaning more towards like the what is it, the surrogate at this point?
I'm still
because you have enough juice, so to speak, or sauce, or whatever the people call it.
Swag.
The swag, you have enough whatever to actually attract women on a somewhat regular basis. So it seems like you kind of have a shot out here. So what do you kind of think?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I walk into every relationship thinking that the chick is a 304 until proven otherwise, and most of the time I'm proven right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just reality. It's the reality of the market. I'm not going to sit here and be like this cuck saying, "Oh, well, if she's pure, dude." Like, no, it's just not true. Like, it's retarded. So, like, it's retarded to even think that way. So you just accept it for what it is and you move on. And so yeah, I'm still somewhat hoping for a marriage, but at the end of the day, I know I'm not walking into it blindly saying, "Well, I know it'll work out in the end, buddy boyos," and I'm going to be the exception to the rule. It's what it is.
Yeah, I guess you kind of go in. Here's kind of how I look at it, right? It's like, I look at my dad, and I'm glad my dad married my mom, or else I wouldn't be here and shit. I'm not gonna be one of those liberals who's like, well, if my parent aborted me, I would have been cool with that because I wouldn't be alive. It's, I just don't, obviously, divorce sucks. It's fucked up, and I can still understand the point of view of not wanting to be married, but I guess it's kind of like as a man, I think it's unfair for even people like Coach Greg Adams to try to tell men not to procreate. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's doing it specifically, but you have a lot of men, MGTOW men, who are going back and telling young men not to get married, don't procreate, don't have kids, don't. But it's like, yeah, but you already you were able to still have those milestones as a young man. Sure, it was in the 90s or early 2000s. Mm-hmm. So I can see why a man such as yourself, Mystery, or whoever, can know about the red pill, can know about the black pill, but can still go and try to hit those milestones of like, okay, getting married, having kids, and even knowing what you know about female nature, and even if you get kind of put through the cleaners, because as a man, those are the things that you've always wanted to not besides a divorce. You know what I'm saying? So I can get both sides of it a little bit.
Yeah, speaking of Coach Greg Adams, this is a topic I wanted to bring up earlier, but I kept forgetting about it. Is that what do you make of his claim that there are not enough men to go around? In my opinion, I think it's the exact opposite. Like this idea that like there are like desirable. He always says it like there's not enough men to go around, and I think he's somewhat right where he says like he's like there's not enough simps or there's not enough men. There's a shortage of men out here, and it's like okay, like what do you mean when you say that? Because like technically speaking, like women don't want the majority of men. So like from their perspective, there is a shortage of men, right? But like in reality, though, if they were willing to accept the men that they kept curving, then yeah, there would be plenty of men to go around for every woman.
It's not a shortage. No, anybody who's saying that, I mean, I respect. Like I said, I think Coach Greg Adams is brilliant, but I don't see how there's a shortage of men if you look at a woman's DM. All you gotta do is just get an account. Some of y'all have done this. Get an account as a woman, whether it's on if you want to do it on a dating app, on an IG or a sugar baby site or what have you. And see how many messages that you get, and there's an absurd amount of men who are willing to simp and willing to bend over backwards just for a reply, not even just for your reply.
Well, I guess it depends. It depends on your perspective, though, right? Because if you're thinking about it from like a woman's perspective, she doesn't even consider those men to be men.
I was gonna
say,
like
from her perspective, she's like, well, but there is a shortage. There's a shortage of viable men who actually have their shit together, quote unquote. Not that they really care about that per se, but like there's a shortage of chads, right? There's a shortage of high status, high value, high good looking men.
But their perception is
want to fuck. Yeah, but their perception is not reality. But
yeah, that's the problem.
But to some extent, their perception is reality, right? Like
their perception is their reality.
Yeah, like whether we like it or not, like people perception how you're perceived. Like it's kind of like when you're walking on the street and you're dressed in a thug up way, but you're not really a thuggo. People might perceive you as a thug, but in reality, you're just a regular dude, right? Like it doesn't really matter how.
Yeah, I understand that. I think we need to push back against their perception because they're always going to have a fucked up perception. So if a woman says all men cheat, but you've only dated 6'5" quarterbacks, you've only dated 5 guys in your life. 3 of those guys were quarterbacks. The other 2 are drug dealers, but all men cheat. That's bullshit. So whatever their perception is, I think we need to do a much better job as men as a whole to say, fuck you and fuck your feelings, fuck your perception. Here is what the reality is. Because I've had a woman tell me recently, all men cheat. But I'm like, what the fuck? But look at the men that you've dated. Look up the men that you think the guy at Jiffy Lube, like Mystery, the woman who I sent you, that girl, right? Because I saw her the other day.
Yeah.
She was telling me all men cheat. I'm like, bitch. If the guy at Jiffy Lube had you as a girlfriend, this motherfucker is never gonna cheat. The guy who works at Home Depot is never gonna.
He's good to go forever, bro. He's good to go
forever. Most men are not out. First of all, most men do not have the
ability, nor the
desire.
They
have the desire to cheat. They just don't. Most men, like they love the idea, like we created romance. Y'all didn't. The only reason why y'all think men cheat so much is because y'all hoes cheat so much. That's it.
Facts, projection.
But y'all got
I'm on the same boat with Mystery, like kind of holding out. But before I even enter like the sexual marketplace, I gotta let go of some false beliefs. Like there's no perfect one. Knowing Mystery with his like knowing like what Mystery about female nature, you just kind of hold out for the best. Like, oh, I knew she was a 304 anyway. It is what it is.
Yeah. Like, don't walk into any situation blind. You should be walking in with a certain like level of like, okay, like this is what I'm going to expect. This is what I know to expect. There are a few known knowns and unknown unknowns and all that crap like that, right? There's a whole bunch of shit that you should be expecting though,
especially as a black man.
Especially as a black man from day one, like. Certain things you just have to deal with. That's what it comes down to. And if you're gonna deal with women in general, or if you have the ability to, there's certain things, especially if you're not like a Chad or a Tyrone, you're just gonna be a certain level of like things you're gonna have to say in a certain way or finesse in a certain way to get things to work. What's up, Jack Tisson? What's up, buddy boy?
No, that's right.
You're on mute, Jack Tisson.
Hi, yeah. I agree with what Blackpool Joe was saying. This idea that all guys are on this trajectory to cheat the moment they're with a woman is only based on ladies going with a certain type of guy early in their life who has them types of options, and then they declare that it's all men, and it's obviously a false statement. myself, you know, I ascended, not ascended. I'm too old to ascend, but I got out of inceldom a few months back after quite a while. Well, I was pretty much an extreme case of living on the incel spectrum, and I made a decision recently. If it doesn't work out with this chick that I'm with, I'm never going to try again. You know, I'm 40 years old now, so I will literally give up. I will literally give up, and I'll escort Max for the rest of my life. And I think one of the things that is said, what you said, is that you know, having black pill knowledge about the potential things that could go wrong is a good way to enter into a liaison with a woman. You know, because you can understand that there's potential for, you know, issues with divorce afterwards. It's more than likely that the woman will cheat rather than you. And you can be aware of how the law is asymmetrical. So if you've got a problem, the courts are going to be on her side rather than yours. And I think you're totally right, BPJ. I think you're totally right. It's the idea that all men cheat. It's basically the Giga Chad or the Giga Tyrone. They're the guys that cheat because they can. You know, if you walk down the street and you can pick a woman up,
here's
walking down the road.
Here's the fucked up thing too, and Base Pluto mentions paying for the sins of Chad Roan. So here's what does happen in a beta boxing scenario, and I've seen it happen to Chads, where a woman would be in a good relationship with a man. Everything is seemingly going right. Maybe he's a Chad, he could be a Chad light, or maybe he's a beta bucks, whatever the fuck that might be. And a woman will cheat and use her previous dating experiences to justify her cheating on her current man, because it's like, because all men cheat, all men are dogs anyway, right? So it's kind of like they'll use the previous experiences while the Chads and Tyrones to fuck the beta bucks dude over when he didn't do shit.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, everything that happens
it's all premeditated.
Yeah, everything that happens in the dating market is effectively just women projecting either their own bullshit on the men or projecting the sins of Chads and Tyrones and all the high value quote unquote men onto the rest of men, right? It's all, everything is basically the apex fallacy and projection from women. That's the sad part about half of this shit, is right. This is sad, really, because like you get blamed for so much shit that you yourself have zero ability to do, or even have the desire to do. So it's like, how are they even fair?
Yeah,
but
it's not right. It's not just, but I'm telling you, it's not just the ability, but also the desire. Because even if here's what I think, and maybe I might be blue pilled on men. I think that most men, even if they had the ability to cheat on their woman, I would say that majority of the time, when I'm saying the majority, I'm saying anything over 50%. I don't think that most men, if they truly like loved and let's just say they had a romantic desire for their woman, I don't even think that most men would just cheat like that. I really don't. If think about it, if their woman is if their woman is giving them sex and attention and affection and all this other shit that she's supposed to do, and you love your woman, and some other girl who might be cute or whatever like wants to fuck you. Oh, Jack, you're echoing, bro.
Oh, sorry. Should I come in and come back out?
Someone else speak again? No, you're not echoing now. You're good.
Yeah, I was just only saying that I don't think that most men, I could be wrong, you guys. If I'm wrong, please let me know. I don't think that most men will go out of their way to just cheat on their wife like that. I think that most men who do cheat on their wives, I think they're pushed to doing it because of the dead bedroom situation, right. because of something to where like he's not able to fuck his wife. And I think that the men who are just these serial cheaters to their, they were already getting a lot of pussy before they hadn't met their woman, so they were just kind of used to having multiple women in the first place.
Yeah, I think
infidelity.
You've got that kind of I'll use an English slur, dickhead. That type of guy who has spent his whole life going to bars and online and going on holidays, and he easily picks up women and
finessing.
It's tied in with his ego. He sees himself as a type of guy that has to continually get get with women, otherwise he's not a real man, and he isn't high status, and he isn't the type of guy that's above other men. And that type of guy, you can spot him a mile off. You know, he's generally a good-looking guy. He's got tattoos up his neck. You know, he wears big jewelry. He always talks about all the women that he's been with. And if a woman goes with that type of guy because he's nice to look at, and then he starts cheating on her, then who's to blame? You can. It's like you're letting a venomous snake into your bedroom, and then you're complaining that it bites you. You know, and then they'll turn around and say that every guy's like that. Well, you can clearly see that most guys aren't of that type. Most guys are just happy to have one woman, particularly if they've come out of inceldom. I mean, if you've got a dude that's come out of inceldom and he's with a woman, of course he's not going to try and do things like that. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But again, it's just
Hey,
it's misandry.
Here's the most ironic thing about the way women perceive incels. The most ironic thing about, and then you should think about it, right? Incels are perceived as men who hate women, who think, you know, they're synonymous with terrorists, or they're synonymous with the right, and whatever the fuck, right? Like all these bad things that they're associated with. But in reality, a woman would get treated far better on average by an incel than they ever would a Chad or a Tyrone. An incel would actually an actual incel would actually give that woman the best treatment that she's ever had on average. I'm saying like the average incel would. That's the ironic thing about it. That's the funny thing about that whole situation.
Yeah, it's
not even in just relationships, but in general too.
Now you can't say for sure, but one thing I know for sure is that I think most guys will cheat if they have the chance to, and that's due to overindulgence. So let's say there's a guy that was incel his whole life, and tomorrow he turns into a Chad on some Freaky Friday type shit, right? he'll most likely overindulge and play the field as much as he can. Most guys, when they get the position to kind of have one woman, and they kind of see that they ascended, they'll usually kind of overindulge. You see this with Myron from Fresh and Fit as well. He's overindulging right now.
You know what? I'm not going to disagree. If you're talking about a night and day transformation, I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm saying if you take that same guy, give him a woman, and on occasion, I'm like, because most dudes who are in relationships, right? Because obviously there's such thing as pre-selection, but most guys who are in relationships are not having a whole bunch of women trying to fuck them, if we're being honest. Even you know what I'm saying, like for the most part. So I'm saying like that guy, that average dude in a relationship who occasionally might, you know what I'm saying, he's not really looking to cheat like that. And if he's given the opportunity, I think that more times than not, he probably wouldn't if he loves his woman and his woman is giving him sex whenever he wants.
Oh, so yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If he's given the opportunity, he knows he won't get caught, he won't do it. I think he will.
No. I'm saying that 5 or 6 times out of 10, he probably, if he loves his woman, he probably and she's satisfying him, he probably won't. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's never going to do it. I'm saying like percentage wise.
It's more or less.
Yeah, more. Thank you. Yeah.
Nah,
because at that rate, it really doesn't matter. Like it's all about temptation. Is he gonna give into it or not? That's if it's there.
But it could just.
I wouldn't even say that like men and women cheating is not even like similar in the way that we do it anyway, right? Like, you know, I think that I hate to quote fucking Just Pearly thing, but she's somewhat right here, where it's like, you know, when she talks about how like, oh yeah, well, men and women cheating is not the same. You know, like a woman will cheat on you and they'll make it as embarrassing and fucking horrible as possible. You know, I feel like for men, more or less, like especially for men, it tends to be more physical, whereas women, you know, they tend to like do this weird shit of like attachment, and then they fucking cheat on you, and then they fucking do all this crazy shit, and it's like they overcomplicate it. For men, it's far more physical, and there's less like emotional availability, or what the fuck you want to call it, involved with the sex, right? It just kind of happens and we're done. You know, the woman is usually the one who catches feelings typically. So
yeah, to go back to And dudes would cheat and go back to their wife and nothing happened. So I think guys are if they had the chance, they really will do it. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Like Mystery just said, it's a different thing than when women do it, you know?
So, but let me ask you this though. So most men are blue pill, right or wrong?
Right.
Yeah. So if a dude is blue pill, is he more likely or less likely to pedestalize his woman? And maybe this is just like, maybe this is an unfair question, but is he likely to pedestalize his woman enough for him to not even want to fuck with another woman if given the opportunity?
Yeah, in theory, yeah.
Which, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's kind of my point, is that because most men are blue pilled, most men are very romantic, most men idealize their woman, most, like, I don't think that correlates with him also being highly unfaithful to that woman.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, it's funny. It's funny because even though blue pillars, okay, I think more simps are actually red pillars than they are blue pillars. You know what I mean? I think they're more simps in the red pill than in the blue pill. If that makes sense.
Which generation, like boomers or Gen Z?
I would probably agree to some extent, right? Because like I've made this point before in the past, but I think that changing your entire personality to appeal to women. Oh yeah, like basically the whole red pillar's mantra was that it's not that it's over, it's that you're not trying hard enough. So effectively, like you need to do more and more and more and more and more, simping effectively to attract women. So you have to be, be in her DMs, bro. You have to be working out every day, bro, to get a woman, bro. You have to be making more money, bro. You have to have text game, bro. You have to have your voice game, bro. You have to have your all these
body language,
all these things you have to do to attract women, which is like, we get it. Like you have to do something to attract women, but like at the same time, though, like you're literally telling a man, like, yeah, sure, just be yourself, which is what the blue pill mantra kind of is. It's obviously wrong. It's bullshit. But at the same time, like, let's not pretend like we're not simping here when we're saying, oh yeah, well you got to do all these things to attract women. I was like, okay, like I get it, but like, like these red pill guys will have you believe that, nah, bro, I don't simp, bro. I just I'm alpha and the women come to me, bro, and I run through women like this and that and blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, dude, yeah, like, but like all the advice you give out, which is saying you gotta lift women to get weight, do all this shit to get women. It's like, yeah, it's simping. That's my opinion.
No, sure, it's advanced simping. And if you talk to a blue pillar, most of them, women aren't that big of a part of their lives as red pillars. Red pillars, their whole lives revolve around women.
Well,
but are simps more loyal than blue pillars? Because loyalty means sexual exclusivity.
Right. I think here's what I think with blue pillars, right? So here's what makes it makes sense that I'm echoing again, Jack. It makes sense that blue pillars, they don't focus on women like the red pillars do. But I think that obviously every red pillar was a blue pillar. So I think that most men currently right now, as it stands, it's a ticking time bomb for them up until they eventually get to the red pill. I think that we're at a time now where female behavior is so out of control that you have, I would say, like hundreds of men every week who are turning to the red pill or are engaging in red pill content. Even when it comes to like how Just Pearly things and Andrew Tate. I mean, there's kids watching Andrew Tate, so you got you little kids being red pilled. You know, you got Pearly. You have the Whatever podcast. You have the Fresh and like I think that Kevin Samuels, whatever. So men are becoming more. It's like, how can you not be red pilled at this point? Because if it's not media red pilling you, then if you're dealing with women, she will more than likely leave you. She will more than likely cheat on you. You are going to get hit by that red pill reality one way or another. Like you are going to get punched in the chest. It's inevitable. It's just a matter of when. That's all it is. It's just a matter of when.
Like if I was in high school in this generation with TikTok, etc., then I definitely would have got at least red pilled or black pilled in grade 10, which would have saved me a whole lot of trouble in the future.
Right. So my thing with the whole I forget where you were mentioning like our red pill guys more simps.
Right.
I can kind of see where that I can kind of agree with you on that if you're looking at it from that perspective. I just think that most men, even guys who are red pill, I think are still idealistic. I think there's men in the black pill who are still idealistic. I think that idealistic men who believe in righteousness, men who believe in honor, I think that these men are just less likely to want to engage in infidelity, unless of course now if there's just like a whole bunch of like 22-year-old models trying to fuck you, then yeah, eventually you're gonna fuck one. But that's not the case for most men in relationships.
Yeah.
Also, I heard there's two types of like high value men. You have ones who are like monetarily high value, and then you have ones who are morally high value.
No, I would say not so much morally, but I would say there's probably the status max / money max type guy, and then you have the actual Chad who's actually just attractively high value, where he has actually intrinsic high value, versus the other guy had to do money maxing or status maxing to get anything. But yeah, we gotta end it here. I gotta get the fuck out of here. So do some fucking last words. Get the fuck out of here. So let's do Jack Tiss and last words.
Yeah, thanks for letting me on, and have a good weekend, people here and people listening, and I'll see you in the future. Thank you.
All right, dude, thanks for coming on. Ship Skylark, my dude, last words.
Oh, no last words. Everybody have a great day, and I'm gonna see y'all next week.
All right, dude, see ya. Josiah W, the last words, my dude.
Thanks for having me today. Got through good stuff. Yeah, bro. I'll definitely put my notifications on for next time.
All right, dude, thanks for coming on, my dude. BPJ, last words, my dude.
Yeah, man. Pearly was on Piers Morgan. And I think that one day you will be on Piers Morgan, Mystery. you probably see your face. But I think, man, I'm like, hey, you know what? Why can't Mystery be on Piers Morgan, man? I think we need the black pill representative, and I think that might be you. I mean,
you guys think too highly of me.
we thought it was Face and LMS. We thought it was Weed Waffles, but those are the fallen prophets, man. You might just be the chosen one, bro.
Why is that though? Why is that? What draws you here? Why am I the fault? Why am I?
I think it's because obviously there's no grift, and you're balanced enough where, at least with Face and LMS, I mean, he's a guy who. I mean, he had his streams. I really appreciate the guy, but he was an incel or, more on that kind of side of it. You're a guy who recognizes the black pill, understands it and talks about it and breaks it down, but you're still in the dating market. So you're seeing things from kind of both. You can see things from both sides. And I think that's why people fuck with you, because you're able to, it's like being on the Nebuchadnezzar. It's like you're able to engage in the Matrix, but then you can also come back to Zion.
I'll take the comments.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
You kind of get it. So I think that's kind of, and also to you, you're pretty base, dude. You know what the fuck is going on. You got the intelligence. You can speak well. So yeah, we're gonna see you on there, bro. One of these days.
You might. All right, man. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Yep.
All right, buddy boyos. We're done. Don't forget to watch SNC this Sunday night, cool weekend chat, random discussion, episode 35. I think it's 35, right? It's gonna be 36. I think it's 35. 36 of season 2. We're gonna have another episode of that shit. Yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you liked the video. Maybe you hated the video, leave a comment anyway. And never forget, buddy boy, that wisdom fucking gold. See you guys in the next stream. SNC once again. Episode 35 coming up this Sunday. And cheers, my dudes. Don't forget, guys, that wisdom fucking gold as well. Cheers and enjoy the rest of your week.